Good evening. Let me get these messages out here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. Tonight was crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Big up. Give me a second. I'm gonna just send this out. As y'all come in here, please make yourself known. Where's this at? Yeah. I don't know what to say about that 4x1, man. Kind of confused. But maybe y'all can give me some of your input and help me have some insight. Because Italy? Damn, man. They got the 100-meter champion. I get that, but Italy. In a second, I'm going to go through and read through their legs. I know the anchor leg. The other two legs. Sorry. No idea. None. That up there, and then go to my Instagram. Drop that in there. Nope, not that one. We want this one. No, what are you doing? Ole. I know I said this before, people, but social media is annoying. Big night for Shanae Miller-Weibo. Big her up. She's my props. Let's talk some relays. Again. Yeah. Give me an arrow. What's up on the game? Yeah, turn these sound effects down. They're kind of high. That's the volume. Spin you down. You down till about, yeah, that should be good. On the game. Much respect. Yo, that's the thing. Shanae wasn't even healthy, man. She said you can't always go off of what athletes say. I believe her though by how emotional she was afterwards. She said she couldn't even walk this morning. What? It's bananas, yo. 48:37 is that has to be. Well, the Olympic record is 48:15. I don't know who ran that. I'll take a look in a second, but I did not expect that from her. I thought she seemed vulnerable. I thought that the gold medal was up for grabs. I was wrong. A lot of us were wrong. Mitchell Blake hasn't come close to breaking 20s all season, and it showed in the last 10 meters of the relay. Yeah, he seemed pretty upset. It's a tough position to be in because you know it was your fault, and everybody knows that it was your fault, and you know that everybody knows that it was your fault. But track isn't one of those things where it's like, well, you could have pushed harder, or you should have showed more heart. He just doesn't have it this season. Can you really blame him for that? Yes and no. You can't blame him for his performance. You might blame him for his preparation throughout the season. Everybody's had tricky preparation. You know what I'm saying? But Mary Jose Perec, who Shani is trying to emulate in the 200, 400 meters, 48:25. That's the Olympic record, huh? Okay, 96. I'm assuming had to be 96. Yeah, we're talking about Mitchell Blake, Cookie Monster. Big up yourself. Respect for the tuning, yo. Let's take a look at these 4x1 times. Since we're talking about the men, whatever. Let's finish talking about the men. Italy, 37:50, national record. Obviously, that's blistering fast. Great Britain, 37:51, season's best. Okay, mind you, I was watching that with Jade, and yo, she was going off. She was pissed. Yo, she was furious. Hold on a second. Man, my mic wasn't even on. Can y'all hear me? Let me check this again. Check, check. Y'all should be hearing me. Jade was mad. She was mad. But check, check, check. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of Great Britain people were upset about that. They did a picture at the end of the championships, all the people who medaled tonight. It was Laura Muir, the women's 4x1, and the men's 4x1. And so that's 9 people, all got silver medals. It's all silvers. Now, the only one that really had a chance at the gold would have been the men's 4x1 because the Americans weren't out there. And, I mean, it was up for grabs, whoever had the best race. They had a really solid first 2 legs. And really, I mean, Nathaniel, compared to how he was running earlier in the season, didn't run that bad. He had the same distance on the Canadian team in Gateshead, roughly, and almost got caught. Andre caught him on the anchor leg. And it was similar distance this time, but he's in better shape. But Filippo Tortu isn't slow. If I'm not mistaken, he's run 10:0. He might have run 9 seconds. Let me look up Filippo Tortu's personal best, because he's not slow. I know he hasn't run that this year, but let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Filippo Tortu, personal best. Hold on a second. Personal best, but oh, there's 2 P's. Sorry, 9:99. Personal best. Ran that in 2019. You're not slow. You're not slow. So, can we be that upset? No. Because Blake ain't in no 9.9 shape. He's not in 19-second shape. I mean, Tortu isn't in 9.99 shape, but he's not slow. I'm just trying to say he's not slow. Canada, season's best, 37.70. You know, can you be upset about a bronze medal? You can't. I think everybody ran well. If you're able to get a bronze medal, you can't be upset. If I was to say where there were some mishaps, I'd say that maybe in the middle 2 legs, they had lost some ground. Not because those guys didn't run well. There was just some very strong people on those middle legs. You got Jerome Blake going up against he's my woman was saying that this guy's going to be one of the more forgettable 100-meter champions in history. But whatever. Lamont Jacobs. Lamont. I'm going to call him Lamont because apparently that's his real name. Lamont Jacobs. You have him. Jerome got to deal with him on the second leg. What? Come on, man. This guy ran 980. So they lost some ground there. And then on third leg, Brendan Rodney, he had to deal with Richard Kilty on the third leg. And I don't know who Italy's third leg was. So I think it was, oh no, I think it was, he was black. So I'll assume that Desalu is the black guy. There's Lorenzo Pata and Esiosa Faustine Desalu. I'll assume Desalu was the third leg because it was the black guy, right? So there was that. I don't know who that is, but I don't know. Rodney did what he could, and Andre got the baton. I'd say in about fifth place. And Andre was gonna do what he does, got them into bronze medal position. So some more hardware for Canada. But Nathaniel looked pretty cushion, man. Chair's tough. 1 second. Yeah. He looked pretty awkward after because he's doing interviews and you want to ask him about what happened, and he wants to be a good sport. He wants to talk about it to a certain extent, but he's embarrassed. And Richard Kilty took the mic away when they were asking him about it, saying, "Look, this man's a legend. He's a legend in the sport. He's responsible for Great Britain's top 3 times in history, and he is. And he's run some very good anchor legs in the past. He held off Christian Coleman in 2019 for them to win the World Championships. So he does his thing on that anchor leg. Usually, we can't really be that upset. 2017, didn't they win the World Championships as well? And he held off. That's when he held off Christian Coleman. Who won the 4x1 in 2019? I thought it was Great Britain as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure. Did they win back-to-back years? That's something special if they did. But I know he held off Christian in 2017 when Bolt got injured. 2019. Oh no, the USA won in 2019. What am I talking about? Yeah, the USA won. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, Cookie Monster. Yeah, USA. So can't be too upset about that. So anyways, Kilty came in and said that for him after. Personally, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If I ran bad and I know everybody else knows that I ran bad, I kind of would just not want them to not say anything about it, as opposed to trying to make me feel better about it, being like, no, it was okay, it was good, it was fine, you did okay, because everyone knows you didn't. You know too. So it's almost like, just don't say anything to me. Let me be upset. You could be mad at me too. I'd almost rather you be mad at me than act like you're not. And the stakes are so high. This is the problem with having such good results, is that when you're a world champion and you've got medals, that gold is actually in reach. And when it's in reach and you don't get it, that's tough. So I felt it for Nathaniel, man. But he'll be back. Apparently he's been having an injury-ridden season. That guy's really talented. I saw that first time I saw him. I was like, yeah, that guy's gonna roll. But it's been a rough season. But I'm sure he'll come back with a vengeance. So Italy, Lorenzo Pata, Lamont Marcel Jacobs, Esiosa Faustine Desalu, Filippo Tortu. Big up Filippo Tortu as well, because he just stayed composed. This is what you got to do, stay composed. His form looked way smoother than Nathaniel, and he caught Nathaniel in the last 10 meters. That's what makes it so tough. But it's one of those ones where you see the guy breaking down and you know that the guy's going to pass him. Even though he hadn't passed him yet, you knew he was going to pass him. It's unfortunate, but it's silver medal. Nathaniel ain't going to look at it like that, though. It was potentially a gold. And if you saw how Jade reacted, Great Britain isn't going to look at it like that either. I can't remember the word she used, but there's certain words she used for what he did. It's a tough one, man. It would have been cool to be watching that in a British pub somewhere. Bottles would have been thrown. The UK has been a constant medal contender since 2017. They should have another chance in 2024. They should. The craziest relay was when they won in 2004. This is the difference between the last time they won the Olympics and this time they could have potentially won. This time the Americans weren't there and it was wide open. No one, the Jamaicans aren't really as strong as they were. It was there for the taking. You go back to 2004, yo, Mark Lewis Francis had to hold off Maurice Green, and Maurice Green didn't even get the baton that far behind him. But he got the baton in the lead, so the fact that Great Britain got them in the lead up to that point was exceptional. I believe it was Jason Gardner first leg, second leg Darren Campbell, third leg Marlon Devonish, to Mark Lewis Francis on anchor, and they were going against the Americans who had, I think it was Kobe Miller on first leg. I can't remember. Justin Gatlin on second. Sean Crawford on third. And then Maurice Green on anchor. If that order's wrong, you guys tell me, but I think that's what the order was. And Mark Lewis Francis had to hold him off, and they won. That was a serious win. I don't know if that's the British record, but that was like, wow. Because all those guys were running fast. 3 of those guys were in the 100-meter final on the U.S. team. So, anyways, big up Italy. They did their thing. Marcel Jacobs is going to be a problem in the future. Leaving the Olympics with 2 gold medals. Confidence-wise, it's going to put him through the roof. Let's take a look at the women. Now, I don't know if you guys were watching the same race I was watching in that women's race, but Jamaica's very, very lucky. Has anything come out in the past hour? Because you're allowed to protest. You're allowed to... Oh, Crawford ran first. Crawford to Gatlin to Miller. Okay, I had Miller first. Okay. Crawford to Gatlin to Miller to Green, 2004. Respect, Cookie Monster. So, yeah, man. No, we just looked at the men, man. Come on. Where's the women at? Women's results. So the obvious win was Jamaica. USA second, Great Britain third. I'm tripping. I thought Great Britain came second. What? Where's the photo finish at? Okay. Well, no, I'm remembering now. Yeah. I'm seeing Gabby in my head in the replay now. I'm tripping. So, if I push that button one more time, I'm gonna scream. I'm listening to my cooking in the other room. I got the oven on, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. Okay, so on the game. Jamaica, I think they ran out of the zone in that first exchange. But they would not show any replays. I was getting upset, man. Like, I just wanted to see one replay. Up to now, I haven't seen one replay of that. But the way the game's changed in the relay now is there's camera people that are part of the squad now, and they skim through the races afterwards at every zone to see that everyone did legal handoffs, because you could ultimately be moved up. if someone went through the zone. So if anybody had a camera on that zone, which I still haven't seen, if anyone had a camera on that zone for Jamaica in that 4x1, they could have bumped up. USA, if they had anybody around, or Great Britain, or Switzerland, because they got fourth. If they went and looked at the tape and then protested, they would have won the protest. Because from a distance, they looked way out of the zone. And I remember a lot of people thought Great Britain was disqualified because they looked out of the zone. To my eye, when I was looking, I didn't even see that. It's upon the replay. I had looked and was like, dang, they were one step within. One more step, they were disqualified. But Jamaica was way further out of the zone, ocularly to me. They would not play it back, though. I just wanted to see it once. In my head right now, I'm seeing them out of the zone. But it doesn't matter. I don't want that team deserved to win. So it's not like I want them to be disqualified. But I've seen some teams get disqualified in the past. Canada's been disqualified over some line violations that were looked at after on tape. I mean, it's happened to a bunch of teams. So to say that they should be allowed a green card or a green light, I don't think that's fair. They were the best team, though. I expected them to at least run 40 point. Everyone ran well, even Brianna, everybody. It was a strong team. Handoffs weren't the best. Brianna to Elaine was tough. Elaine to Shelly was alright. Shelly to Sharika was seemed short. Maybe it was going to really couldn't grab 41. U.S. brought in Gabby Thomas and Prandini ran 0.3 slower than their semi. They ran slower than their semi. Really? I didn't notice that. That's crazy. You know those people that run in the heats are saying the same thing. Like, y'all should have let me run. Gabby. I think Gabby you bring in for sure. Even though she hasn't been looking how we were expecting her to be looking compared to U.S. trials. Jenna, overall, her championships hasn't been the greatest. But she's an Olympian. She's a veteran. She can be relied on. Oh, big up yourself, Vader. Yeah, first exchange, man. First exchange, I think they went out of the zone. Doesn't matter now because you got to protest within an hour. I think we're past the hour now. We're well past the hour, so they're safe. They're good. What time is it in Japan right now? Oh, 12:39. Y'all can see it on the screen. Yeah, they're all right. They'll be okay. They're gold medalists. But they didn't even celebrate. Yo, you gotta play you gotta play the role a little bit, man. Sharika Jackson looked guilty when she crossed the line. That gave me more reason to think that they got disqualified because she didn't even want to celebrate. She crossed the line and was just looking around straight face, nothing. Shelly Ann Fraser Price came up and she was smiling and she knows what she got to do, so she's smiling like yes, da 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 da. But Sharika Jackson looked guilty as hell, man. She looked guilty. Where's my phone? But yeah, Brianna to Elaine. I just had my phone. That's annoying, man. Oh yeah, it's charging. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me grab my phone. I'd heard some talks that Gabby might not have ran the final, but how do you not run her in the final? That doesn't make no sense. But according to the stats, they ran better in the heats. Great Britain came through. I expected Switzerland, now that they got two legitimate 10-9 runners from these championships. I expected them to come through. Great Britain, yeah, they got Dean Asher-Smith, but she ran. The two Swiss athletes beat her in the 100. So to think that they would have had a better chance would have made sense. Daryl Nita, she also made the 100-meter final, so they got some legs on that team. But I would have had Switzerland getting a medal. Great Britain just knows how to run relays, though, on both sides. It's just a thing for them. It's something they take seriously. It's something that they're successful in, historically. Canada's first exchange was too close. Yeah, all the exchanges seemed very safe for Canada. Great Britain ran faster in the heats. British Ute curled up at the line. What up, Zach? Make up yourself, yo. He said the British Ute curled up at the what is the word that Jade used? She was pissed. British people don't play around with stuff like that, eh? She was mad, and she's supposed to go on TV later on. She's gonna go off about that. What was the word? He fluffed it, or he skunked it. Something, man. It's some British shit, yo. I don't know what she said, but I was laughing. I know Nathaniel. He's cool. But we were talking about this earlier. You guys answered this. If you know you ran a bad leg, and you know everybody knows that you ran a bad leg, do you want them coming up to you and saying, "Hey, you ran well. Don't worry about it," or do you want them to just be like, "It's a shit leg, but whatever, man. We'll just stick with the silver." I wouldn't say he choked. He's just saying in shape, man. He just ain't in shape. Oh, Marengo, we're gonna get to that. Respect for the tune-in. But yeah, I wouldn't say he choked. He just ain't in shape. He just ain't in shape, but Back is funny, yo. Back's a joker, yo. Okay, so Jamaica was expected to win. The disqualification. If those other teams were smart, they would have protested that, and you can. It doesn't even cost that much to protest, apparently. It's like a couple $100. You just get one camera on that. I'm yet to see it. If you guys have seen the replay, you tell me. I'm yet to see the replay of the exchange zone of Jamaica on that first exchange. And maybe it's better that way, because then everybody may see that they should actually be disqualified. But I don't want to vote against Jamaica anyways. They're the best team. I'm here and there about it because I've seen Canada win relays and get disqualified. And I'm in this transition now where I'm understanding the rules side of things, but I'm still seeing the side of things where it's like, okay, like we know what's right. What's right is Jamaica is the best team out there. But the rules, Adam Jamili apparently was injured. He got injured in the heat of his 200 meters. Hey, if he was in shape, maybe he would have ran anchor. It would have made more sense. But in Gateshead, they ran a 4x1, and it was the exact same team. And Adam Jamili was there, and he was healthy. And they still ran the exact same order. So maybe he wasn't even an option. I don't think he was an option. So whether he was hurt or not, he might have been a smarter option if he was healthy. But I don't think he was going to be an option anyways. But how do you not put Reese on there? That's the question. Reese Prescott. How is he not in the 4x1? I wasn't even thinking about that. Because Nathaniel just isn't, he's not in good shape right now. he is the anchor that's been around for years. But I mean, Zach's killing me, yo. Zach said that Canada might need to import a 1-2. Don't say that, man. That's messed up. I am finding that there's been a lot of situations where on the anchor leg, Andre has a lot to do. But they have, I have a lot of confidence in Jerome on that second leg. I have a lot of confidence in Brendan on that third leg. But I just feel like that's where they lost ground today, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person that just would rather someone just be straight about that. I don't want someone telling me that I ran amazing if I didn't. And I'm not saying they ran bad. They got an Olympic bronze medal. But that's definitely where they lost some ground. But Jerome he's a sleeper because not many people know that he ran 19 in a 200 on straightaway. And Brendan is just a very secure third leg. They rarely have mishaps with any baton exchanges, and he runs a good turn. So this is the choice of legs was good to me as far as I'm concerned. They made the best choice. But Aaron was in a really good position. And then you could see them, lose ground as the baton got to Andre, got the baton around 5th place or something like that. And then he closed and got them bronze. Johan Blake isn't leaving Tokyo because he didn't medal. If Jamilia, here's what you guys are saying about Reese. Oh wait, if Jamilia was fit, he'd go 3rd, but Kilty killed it. Kilty ran a really good leg, and I don't think he's been in that good shape, but he runs a really good 3rd leg. That's the thing. In relays, you got to just go with the people who are going to run the legs fast, not necessarily who have the fast legs. I just dropped a bar right there. That's a relay bar. In the relay, you don't always go with the fast legs. You go with who's going to run the leg fast. You see what I'm saying? Apparently Reese doesn't like relays. He's not in the squad. What? Maybe you don't like relays. It's a medal. It's a highly anticipated event. It's a big deal, especially in Great Britain. Maybe you don't like relays. Is that 100% true? If I cross paths with him, which I will eventually, I'm gonna just ask him that. Do you not like relays? Because that's weird to me. If there's an opportunity to win a medal. Every opposing country is recording athletes running on the line. I changed on soft. That's what I'm saying, Vader. Every country's supposed to be doing that. That's why I didn't know if Jamaica was going to maintain that gold medal. If some news comes out during this broadcast, y'all need to let me know. Johan isn't leaving Blake. Yeah, Johan didn't get a medal. It's seeing Johan the way he is now. I mean, it's clear that he's not what he used to be. But it's just weird seeing some of these guys that were so on top of their game at one point and they're just not anymore. But it's just the reality of track and field, man. It's just what happens there. It's going to happen everywhere you see running fast right now. Eventually, isn't going to be. That's how it goes. Allison Felix got a bronze today in the 400 meters. That's a heck of an exit. But you can see that she's not Allison anymore. But I think it's a good time to stop. I don't know if she's planning on. Well, I've heard she's planned on retiring this year. I know that's her last Olympic trials, but that just means she's not going to 2024. They got the World Championships in Eugene, Oregon next year at home. She may consider running another year. It ain't my place to say she shouldn't, but my opinion, she shouldn't, because he got a bronze, and it's a good way to leave the sport on the podium. I think she has a lot of other things. She represents a lot more than track and field now. And she wants to represent more. She's like a spokesperson for moms and mom's in the sport. She's not even with Nike anymore. I don't know the name of her shoe company. Can one of y'all tell me the name of her shoe company? I saw a close up picture of the shoes. It doesn't look like there's any kind of science that went into those shoes. They don't seem to have any kind of support. Those shoes don't look like they're adding to her running. I'm not saying they're taking away from it. I'm just saying I look at some shoes and I'm like, oh yeah, those shoes will make you go fast or make you go faster. I don't see that when I look at her shoes. I don't. They look good. There's some good looking shoes. They don't look like they're making her go faster at all. Peers are reading Wikipedia. You and Audrey began running track very late, around 17. Yeah, I started running. It was 12th grade is when I started running. So that would put me at 17. Yeah. That would be the final year of high school if I was in the States, but we have an OAC year, a 13th grade. So 17, I ran my first year. I didn't do bad. At the high school championships, I had a really, 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 really bad start. And I thought they were going to call it back, and they didn't, so I didn't even make it out of the heats. But then at Canadian Nationals, I came fourth. So I came fourth as my first year running as a junior in Canada. And then in my grade 13 year, I ran really well. I won juniors, Canadian juniors. But yeah, things I started running fast fairly quickly. Often not that much running. And Andre, yeah, you see the exact same thing. Except he ran like way, 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 way faster. She ran the second fastest 400 ever. Surprised she couldn't go to Eugene, finish the relay, go tour. Yeah, they need to put her on that 4x4. Allison Felix, they need to put her on that 4x4. That's the way for her to go out. You get a bronze in the open, you get a gold in the 4x4, potentially an American record. And maybe they'll let her run anchor. And as long as she doesn't get reeled in, that's a good way to exit with the gold. Yo, imagine she got the baton in the lead though, and then got yammed. That couldn't be her final race. That would suck. Oh, Sin Win. That was actually. Well, there's one year I came third at OFSA. The year I won Junior Nationals, I came third at OFSA. And that hurt. OFSA's like what y'all would call state championships, or I guess in Britain they would call it Britain high school championships are wicked. I forget what it's called. British schools. I can't remember. I watched a doc on it the other day. It was actually a really good doc. I mean, the guys that did it, they have a podcast as well. Wretch or Wreck. They call him Wreck or Wretch. Rubes. And there's one other guy. Can't remember. What do they call it? English schools. That's what they call it. Yeah, man. Yo, it's actually better than OFSA because it's actually watched nationwide. It's watched nationwide. Like we have OFSA, but OFSA is showing in Ontario, and OFSA is a big deal. But I don't know if everyone's as passionate about it the way they're passionate about it here. Yo, Vader, and even Zach, check this out, yo. Eventually, I want to do a doc on OFSA. There needs to be an OFSA doc. And there's been some names that have come out of OFSA, yo. You know what I'm saying? And OFSA's the meat. And I would do that doc up real nice. Zach, you can help me out with that. We could do something real special with that OFSA documentary, yo. So stay tuned. We're gonna do that. Yeah, Vader, I came third at OFSA, man. And that's the one I wanted. And that's what they were saying in this doc. And I want to say the name of the doc because I like these guys. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look it up right now. Track Archives is there. Track Archives. The doc is called Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Kings of the South. So they're South London sprinters, right? Whereas where most of the best talent comes out of in London, right? The doc's called Kings of the South, and it was talking about how English schools, to win that is a bigger deal than winning junior nationals, and it's the same with OFSA. Winning OFSA, even though it's just Ontario, is a bigger deal than winning Canadian nationals. As far as pride, you could argue Canadian nationals is the bigger meet because you're running against all the best juniors in Canada. But the one that you want, it's OFSA, man. It's OFSA. It's the one. And yeah, came third. Man. Anyways, I don't want to get into that story. Yeah, Vader used to do his thing, you know. So, Allison, bronze. Miller Weibo looked amazing, 48.3. Let's take a look at those results real quick. 48.3. Oh, does Nike have the best spike for real? Yo, Zach, are you still there? Zach, yo, those Nike spikes right now? Yo, it's like they have a brain. Those Nike spikes, the cushioning that's on, or whatever's going on at the front of those shoes, look very scientific. They look very scientific. And they're loving the fact that people are saying that those bikes are making people go faster because it looks good on them. They're making people faster. It doesn't look good on the athletes. Nike don't care about that. But those shoes are definitely doing something for a lot of people. Oh, hold on a second. I'm cooking, guys. Keep talking real quick. We're gonna come back and talk about this. I'm gonna go check the oven real fast. Stand by. I'm back. I'm back. Y'all stayed. All right. So yeah, aren't they doing the same for Puma? Nah, the science hasn't caught up for Puma yet. It will. It will, but I read an article saying that hold on a second. I read an article saying that hold on. A bit of a cooking scare. Let's check this out. I'm gonna have to make moves just now. But yeah, the science hasn't caught up yet. It will eventually. You know what I'm saying? So look at I'm about to make moves. Oh yeah. Oh, Sin knows who Vader is. That's funny. Let's check this out. I'm gonna go deal with dinner and this boy. But yeah, man, the science hasn't caught up yet for Puma, but it will. They were saying, I read an article saying that other shoe companies were allowing other people to use Nike spikes because the science is so far ahead. And it had the same shoe and the same plate, but it just had the different logo. That's where they're at right now. But next year, everything will get caught up. That's where it's going, man. Equipment. It's all about equipment these days. So respect for tuning in. After the 4x4, maybe we'll catch up and talk some more. Talking about that big meet in Tokyo. But yeah, man. Respect for the tune in. Big up everybody. And I'm gonna catch up with y'all, yo. Peace.